Do you have too much to do and not enough time to do it? That's the most common thing I hear. I want you to imagine for a second being able to get all the right stuff done more efficiently so you free up time for yourself. Does that interest you? Today I'm going to show you how. Okay, here's the truth. Time itself cannot be managed. What can be managed is how we use our time. See, earlier in my career, I was a major workaholic. I used to fill my calendar with one meeting after another, almost like just trying to cram as much as I could in a day as humanly possible. I used to thrive on being busy, right? So much so that it became like an adrenaline buzz. The problem with this addiction to busyness is that it rarely meant that I was being effective or accomplishing anything of value. Plus, it always led to stress. Does that sound familiar? See, many of us have a false belief that multitasking is the answer to getting more done. I can say that because I used to believe that doing two things at once was like some secret to accomplishing more. Here's what I learned. The more you multitask, the harder it becomes to stay focused on and accomplish any single task. See, we are all given the same 168 hours a week to work with. Time doesn't favor the rich or the poor. Time doesn't favor the young or the old. Everyone is on a level playing field. There is nothing I or you can do to create more hours in a given day. And nobody can save minutes from one day to spend on another. Time is the most valuable asset we all have. And if you want to get all the right stuff done in less time, you need a system. A system that allows you to be more efficient and productive so you free up time for yourself without feeling like you have to run faster, work harder, and do more. Do you want to create a rhythm and routine to get the right stuff done in less time? If so, do me a favor. Follow the link in the description for my Power Week, Power Life system. I am doing a 4-week boot camp on the same system that I use and the system that I teach my clients to use. My neighbor asked me one time, "Do you ever sleep?" I just started laughing. I said, "Yeah, why?" I said, "Well, you publish books, you share a ton of content online, right? You travel a lot with your family, you're always doing something with your kids, right? And you even run your own business. How do you do it?" And it's not the first time I've gotten this question before. I told him the same thing I'm going to tell you. I have a system. It's not overly complicated, but it's based upon some key fundamentals that can be applied to every business. If you want to learn more about my system, follow the link in the description for the Power Week, Power Life system and sign up for my 4-week boot camp that is about to start. And I'll teach you everything about it. Right now, I want to share with you the most fundamental aspect of that system, and that is the concept of what I refer to as a weekly flight plan. See, people often complain about a lack of time. It's one of the most common things you hear. I don't have enough time, right? When the truth is their lack of focus is the real culprit. I'll be the first to tell you that you can't blindly rush into work on a Monday, spend your week spinning 1,000 different plates, and expect to have a significant impact. It's impossible. The time to plan your week is before the week begins. Now, I typically do this on a Sunday night. You can do this anytime between Friday afternoon and a Sunday evening. It really doesn't matter when, or it doesn't matter where you do it, right? As long as it's not on a Monday. See, that's one of the core fundamentals I talk about in the Power Week, Power Life system. The core fundamental is plan your week before the week begins, right? Just because I do it on Sunday night doesn't mean you have to, but it's a fundamental. See, sports teams create their game plan before the game begins, and business should be no different. Part of that planning process is to filter and reprioritize your to-do list to clarify what's most important. I say that because clarity is a choice we make. Clarity reduces conflict and stress. Clarity improves efficiency. Clarity enables you and those you work with to overcome obstacles and achieve more than you ever imagined possible. The thing is that the volume of things to do on all our plates can easily feel overwhelming and in some cases unachievable. I know, I get it. When this happens, a lot of people wonder just where to begin. And as a result, they tend to procrastinate. Others spend an enormous amount of time and energy just like overanalyzing everything that needs to get done, that the sheer weight of analysis overwhelms any progress forward. The one thing that I do every week is to identify my 3 big rocks for the week ahead. Now notice what I just said there. I said the week ahead. I only focus my attention on the next 7 days. That's it. See, too many people, in my opinion, spend way too much time and energy focusing on things that have no relevance in the current week. Their mind goes into like the 2 weeks from now or a month from now, right? If you want to accomplish more, you have to do less. And that sounds counterintuitive to the way most of us think. And what I mean by that is we got to eliminate the unnecessary activity on our windshield in any given week so you can focus or refocus your attention on what is truly important in that week. See, the key is to identify and focus on your big rocks first before spending time on the smaller, less important tasks. The next key is to take all the other things that aren't big rocks and group the remaining tasks around what I call key categories in your life. And I tell people avoid adding too many categories. I suggest limiting them to like 5 or 6. Why are categories so important? Because grouping tasks together and working on them at the same time will focus your attention and allow you to stay in rhythm, which allows you to be more efficient. See, most people waste too much time and energy jumping between tasks that fall into different categories. Can you imagine like working on a client proposal 1 hour, followed by a prospecting call the next, then an internal meeting the next, then to meet with a staff member right after that in the same morning? Like, you would spend a lot of time and energy just context switching. Instead, group your tasks together. Like I group like all my tasks in a similar genre. So for example, all my coaching calls are on one day. I then schedule my training workshops for a specific day of the week, much like a doctor who schedules surgeries on certain days and patient visits on the other. This is how you gain efficiency. See, the more I experimented with the habit of developing a weekly flight plan to sort my overflowing to-do list, the more I discovered like just wow, how much I could really accomplish. Well, what once seemed impossible started to become possible. I believe that having a weekly flight plan is really important, and it is only one part of my Power Week Power Life system. I also offer a ton of scheduling techniques, creative ways to get more time for self-care, an implementation guide, a quick start guide, and a library full of valuable tools and resources. Here's the reality. You have far more power to manage your calendar than you realize. By consciously owning that power, you can overcome self-defeating habits and old ways of thinking. I, like you, want more time for myself, and I don't want to feel guilty about that. I, like you, also want to feel like I'm making progress on the things that matter most. And the only way that I found to do that is to create a system to get things done. Trust me, this isn't some made-up marketing bullshit. This is how I roll, right? You can ask anyone in my family. You can ask my clients. You can ask my friends. Anyone who knows me really well, and I guarantee you they'll tell you the same exact thing. Jim lives and dies by his Power Week Power Life system. In fact, I have documented every step of my process. I've created worksheets, I've created tools, and I've attempted to address every question any one of my clients have ever thrown at me. Like for example, one of them said like, okay, Riv, well, how do I get back on track when things get off track? Because that's bound to happen. Awesome. I wrapped that and all the other stuff I just mentioned together in a powerful resource library. I want to give you access to all this material. And I want to help you, on top of that, I want to help you implement your own personal Power Week Power Life system. And I'm doing that by rolling out a 4-week boot camp. I call it an implementation boot camp. Registration is about to close. So if you're interested, do me a favor, follow the link in the description. I'd love to join. I'd love to have you join us. Okay, if you like this video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, comment below, and of course subscribe. Because each week, I'm sharing content to help you and your team focus your efforts, embrace change, and accelerate results. We'll talk to you soon.